Going on, guys? I'm here. Another episode of the Part of the Culture podcast. We're on Zoom. I'm here with Dominic Bradley. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing today?
Doing good. I'm doing good. So I met him on Instagram. So I know he has over 20K followers. I actually been following him 6 months to a year. I like him for a couple reasons. Not just because he's black, but I like that he speaks about business. I like that he shows. I see you dancing sometimes. I just seen you spit a freestyle. But then I like the last post you did about how to break through, and it's to create more content than you consume.
Correct.
And I've always been huge about being on the sales side of the table, not just the consumer side of the table. And so I'm okay. Like if it comes to music, I listen to a little bit of music, but I also create music. I go on Instagram and I look at all the feed, but I also create videos and I create posts. So I like that one a lot. And then he actually reached out to me, slid in the DM, no homo.
Sliding. I was like, what's up? I fuck with you. What's up? I like,
said, I respect, some of the videos. And so I respect what you're doing. But let me let you speak. What is your story, man? How'd you get started in this Instagram thing? And
yeah, man, I'll make it quick, man. I've told my story quite a few times throughout my time. I worked with a lot of different nonprofits with kids ever since I've been growing up. And long story short, I'm basically a student of life. I'm dyslexic, so reading and writing is something that's complicated for me at a huge extent. So that being my whole life, at all points in times, I never fit in. So I could not fit in no matter how hard I tried or what I thought I could possibly do. What was the norm wasn't going to work for me. So at an extremely young age, when I realized that was it, there's only two people who you find: the ones who believe you, the ones who just think you're dumb. And that's the conversation that you kind of have, because you have a dyslexia that people can't see. Right? If you had no arms, you're not going to be throwing the football at this guy and be like, hey, you should be able to catch. You're not going to take the guy with no legs and run him down the hill and be like, you should be a marathon runner. But when it comes down to actual mental disabilities, and sometimes people do not see them, so they cannot understand them. So throughout my history of social media and stuff like that, I realized I was very good. I had the gift of gab. I can talk, I can speak, I can communicate, I could actually get my message across in the verbal ability. So I realized that, all right, well, since I can talk, how can I adjust that? Social media became my immediate outlet when it came alive, because it was my ability to shoot a video, to talk about something and say it and actually get across what I wanted to say, and then it actually be able to stand the test of time. And that was very important to me. I jumped into a huge amount of different MLMs throughout the process, different groups, did really well through a few different MLMs. And a lot of things I realized in there, it was the culture that I liked, not necessarily the products. And I started to realize that the products I did well, I liked the product. I used the product, I liked the product. If I was or was not selling the product, I would use the product. So it set me on a whole different guide of all right, do you truly believe in what you're doing and what you're selling? Do you use it yourself? Can you get it? Can you, So I was always kind of techie. So I'm always messing around with computers. I'm on social media. I started digging in tech stuff, trying out softwares, and I'm like, all right, well, I got all these softwares, I'm using them, I'm doing viral stuff, I'm getting more clients across my platform. But I realized that there's one analogy that I use all the time, which is called the gold rush analogy. And I always say that to people because they're like, what is the gold rush analogy? I'm saying, listen, if there's a gold at the end of the tunnel, right? If you go to the gold rush back in the day, people were all going over to California to start mining gold. And you ask the question to people is, who got rich? Who got rich during the mining goals? And people always say it's the same answer. They say the people who found the gold, but that is not the truth. The people who got rich were the ones who sold you the socks, the pants, the shovels, the helmets, the equipment, and everything else in that whole realm. That's how Levi's even became a brand of clothes. Because they were built in the golden age. They were selling it to everybody because everybody's trying to get to that pot of gold. It's like the world, everybody's not going to win. But it's like the same thing you look at when people sell information. There's a deep inside yourself that has to be a finisher. Okay, I don't care how many courses you take, how many stuff. If you do not finish, all courses in the world aren't going to help you. But if you're actually an executor, you can also do a lot without courses. So there's a lot that people can say about that when it comes down to who you get your information from. So my thing is, how many people can you help actually get to the bag? The question is, how many people can you assist on a process? And assisting is where the money's at, the help. the giving, the handout, right? Like that is truly where the money is at. And if your product, you truly believe whatever you're selling, your service or product is truly going to make a difference, the ability for you to give that to someone is at a stronger amount because you actually trust and you believe in it. And when you believe in something, there's integrity behind it and there's also intention.
For sure.
Because if you don't believe in a product, how can I give you something with the intent to actually help you? I can't. It's impossible. I don't even like the product. I don't believe in it. How can I give it to you? So a lot of times I do love the business and money world, but I like to tell people about what do you want to help someone do, right? If you're trying to get $1 million, I'm definitely the Zig Ziglar. Help 1 million people.
Yeah.
And your $1 billion will come. And
you believe in that statement?
Oh, I definitely believe in that statement. And when you have nothing, the best thing to do is to give. So like I've had my ups and downs as an entrepreneur. And the only way I got back out of entrepreneurship was by giving someone my extreme amount of time who I felt was dedicated to the craft. I have great mentors in the online space. And that came from having like going up, making money, crashing and being like, well, what I'm going to do now? All right, I like this entrepreneur guy. Hey, what can I do to work with you? Alex Jeffries, I worked for a couple months. I literally did not take a dime. He taught me so much when I walked away from there. I made so much more income after that. And what I mean by more is I mean more than zero. So like, if you're not making anything, when you start making your first $200-300 a month or $500 or $1,000 a month, the one thing you have to realize is online is that you have so much more time that you have more time to spend your money than to make more money. And that's a issue that people have because that freedom that you get when you get online is also the death of you. Yeah. Because that freedom has to be spent.
We kind of cut out when you were talking about you have this free time, but also if you're making $200-300, you have all this time to spend all that money, which is literally like, I'm a hustler. I make money online. I have my own business. I just got involved in real estate, but I'm at work right now. Yeah. And the reason I'm at work is because I would have so much idle time. And what work has forced me to do is like, okay, hey, I have 30-minute lunch. What is the best use of my 30 minutes? I have a couple of 15-minute breaks. What is the best use of those breaks? What is the best use of my before work and my after work? So that's kind of why I like having a job, because it eliminates too much free time. When you just have 16 hours,
my thing is, 100%. The best thing I like about when I'm working is like, one, I know I'm working for my business in my mind. Like I give 100% at my job because they're providing me income for my business. And the one thing I realized every time I had to get a job or work somewhere, I was like, listen, that's just more money I don't have to make in my business. You know what I mean? So it's like, I could, you know how much money I would have to make to pay myself a regular salary? Yeah. Like, now I pay myself almost a regular salary now, but I have to make $400,000 to pay myself $100,000.
For sure.
And like people don't even understand. It's like 25% of my shit's gonna go to taxes almost immediately. Then I have to have expenses. I have to have losses. So like for your business to make enough money for you to make 6 figures when you actually own a business is not. So like I hate when people say like, oh, we made 6 figures. Did you take home 6 figures? Yeah. That shit always blows my mind. Cause I'm like, nah, you didn't take home 6 figures. Your business made 6 figures, but you probably only put $20,000 in the bank. And now you're selling the system of how to make $100,000 a year. Yeah. And it's like not so far from the truth. They got to do LLCs. They got to do their taxes. They got to do all this shit that rips their money, but that's never in the actual bill. And that's why I have a hard time with some online people, because it's like that process of being the truth. I always say when people are like, what do you think about something? I'm like, listen, take off 20% of what this person said you're making. You got taxes, take off bills, take off lifestyle. How much is that person actually making? Yeah. Not more than most workers in a regular job, but that's okay if that's what you want to do. So I'm okay because that's exactly what I want to do. So I'm never in that position to feel like I'm supposed to be making $200,000-300,000 a year. I'm in the position to be like, this is what I want to do, and I want to be happy as shit throughout my day life. Like I work from my house. That was something that was super important to me. So I made it. Like if I could work from home and only pull in 40 grand a year, your boy is stoked. Yeah, I agree 1,000%. I'm like, yeah.
So because me and you, I think, I don't want to say we're advanced, but, I understand like a little bit about email marketing. I understand a little bit about, you talked about softwares a little bit earlier, but I just, for people listening, my goal is to kind of like, my audience, I feel like, isn't the people who listen to Gary Vee every day. Yeah. They're not the people who like they might not even know who Zig Ziglar is. Oh, yeah. They probably haven't read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. you know, a lot of people who I connect with, I haven't even asked you, have you read Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so most people who I connect with and know what Zoom are and all this, know what those things are. Anybody listening, go read Rich Dad Poor Dad and go on YouTube and listen to Zig Ziglar. But my question, how can, and I just want to put it into practicality, how can someone who say they're at work, say they want to make a couple extra bucks online, say they want to make $1,000 a month online, what steps would you give them? A 3-step process would you give them for making their first $1,000 on the internet?
Honestly, I'm a true believer of software. And the reason why I'm a true believer of software and affiliate marketing, because I've built my own courses, I've built my own products. That shit is hard. Okay, so hard. If you have nothing, I don't even care if it's online or not. You got to think about this. If you have nothing, the only job you can get that's never going to stop you is sales. Yeah. Okay, how you sell is the problem I think people have. Listen, dude, if you're out here and you're listening to this podcast, you're like, how am I going to go out here and sell something? Sell something simple so somebody can make a simple choice. And that's one thing that I always tell people. You want to start making $1,000, find a software. I love softwares. The reason why is because they're the only thing someone can try before they buy. There's other things like you can get shoes and cars and try before you buy. And the reason why people are doing that is because people want to know they're not wasting their money now. So my easiest way to say is to join an affiliate program absolutely for free. Yeah. Here's the number one way to do it. Buy the damn product and try it. Yeah. That's my way. I buy the product. If it's $20, I try it. I'm like, dude, I like it. I can see it. I learn about it. And then I immediately like, all right, well, time to sell it. And I'm like, what does this problem solve? All right. All I have to do is solve problems. I don't have to sell. I have to solve a problem with software. Here's the problem you're having. And if you're having this problem, I have your damn solution here.
So to keep it into layman's terms, what's a software that you like that you could recommend that's easy, and what problem does it solve?
So a few different platforms that I would say if you're simply looking for something is any kind of website builder platform, like a Wix. Okay. Right? Like a Wix or like a Builderall. And the reason why is because they build websites. A website is kind of like necessary no matter what to get into the online business. So if that is the key, sell the entry because you're only entering. So get a affiliate account, get a Builderall affiliate account. They're both free. Yeah. And then literally give away websites, because what you don't know is that other people are still wondering. And I thought that was something that I didn't know. So buy a simple landing page website. There's landing pages. That's also a site that you can use. And then if you want to be advanced, buy it, learn it, sell it. Cool. If you want to just figure it out and give it away for free, get an affiliate, give it away to as many people as you possibly can. The way I made my first $200 a month is I went to Builderall. I took my website link that said free website and I put it on my Facebook and I said, who want a free website? And I posted it. I had like 48 people get the website. I had about 10 people upgrade. And then initially, bam, I didn't spend any time, no issue. I literally I went to Builderall, clicked affiliate. It's automatically free. I went to funnels because they automatically do all the funneling for you. Yeah. And I said free website, click that link. And then I put it on my website. I put it on my Facebook, said, who wants a free website? And then people clicked on it. They're sharing people. I'm like, who needs a free website? Share with your friends. It's free. It's free. It's free. Cool. So they get to go in for free. Then they get to test the value. So layman terms is try something, give away something for free. Let people try it. Yeah. And if they decide to purchase it, you literally did nothing but hand over something that was valuable to somebody.
How can you, so you broke down how we can find, so affiliate marketing, YouTube it, if you don't know what it is, all it is when you sell someone else's software. So he's talking about website builder. You can do it for anything. Amazon has an affiliate program.
Yep. Walmart does. Target does.
Yeah. All these places have.
Old Navy. I didn't even know that shit until a couple weeks ago. One of my boys.
What was the last one you said? I didn't hear you.
Old Navy.
Oh, I didn't know that either. So you can get affiliates with these. You just go to their site, type in affiliate, and you sign up, and you get an affiliate code, which is a link. Anytime someone clicks that link and buys, you make money. It sends it. You set up your account. It sends it directly to your bank account. So that's that. I feel like that's the easiest part. How do you get people to click those links? How do people build their audience in order for this to happen? I have about 4 more minutes and I have to.
So I would say it depends. I would say look at your skill. First of all, look at yourself. know what you have. I'm a gifted gab. I'm not writing blogs, you boy. So I have to speak. So find your skill in putting out content. If it's written, if it's spoken, if you have neither, Fiverr it. No joke. If you can't speak and you can't write,
Fiverr has an affiliate program also.
It does. Exactly. It does. So go to Fiverr, get someone to create your videos, go to Fiverr, get someone to write your blogs if you have a little bit of income that way. And you literally do it by putting it out in the world SEO wise. Everything you need, I would say run into a brick wall first. Do not dwell on trying it or not trying it. Just try it.
Yeah. One of the posts that I want to make is like, and I was really always talking to myself, but a lot of people fail because they're afraid of 1 people clicking on the link or 5 people. Like, you have to start small. You have to start making $1. You have to learn how to even link all this stuff. You have to go through what, I can't think of his name is, but he's at Project Life Mastery. He calls it the suck phase. You know, a lot of people get stuck because they suck and they think that, oh, I suck at this. This is not for me. But the suck phase is a way for life to see who really wants it and who doesn't want it. So if you can get through that phase, then just like this podcast, this is my 2nd or 3rd Zoom. I'm getting better. I'm even looking for more softwares. Maybe it might be time for me to create a software, find a better software.
Bro.
You know, for podcasting mobilely. That's a different thought. But you have to suck. My first one, now I know how to send emails. I know to do it 5 minutes before. I know, I now know how the thing records. I know how, but I suck and I'm just getting better and better and better. Exactly. I like this. I don't like this. I know what to say to someone like, hey, I'm going to send you this. But you go through the suck phase. And so now you're building a presence. So now you have this video. Now you have this written. How do you know, how do you get it out to the world? How do you get people to consume it?
The number one way that I look at it is you take it from the news. And I always say, make something clickable. And that's one thing I didn't make at the beginning of my choices. It was like, I didn't think about who's clicking on it or why they should click it. And then responding to that with the direct copy to make that person want to click it. Yeah. You know, so somebody can like get on a video and be like, how do you start affiliate marketing if you're broke? This would be a perfect podcast guest. So someone who's like, damn, I don't really have that much money, but I want to learn how to do this, they click on it. Because in their mind, that's the consumer telling them exactly what is going to be answered throughout this podcast. Yeah. So the way I look at it is people clicking on the link. You can't ask people just to buy. You have to give. And when you give, people will receive because people are natural takers. People are naturally about themselves, not in a bad way, but you have to be able to be a giver. And that's the thing that I realized. To get someone to click on it, the caption has to be giving them something. Wow. That's it. Who taught you this? I learned that from my boy, Alex Jeffries. He's a killer. He does, it's called Clients in Abundance. Yeah. He's an amazing person. Great leader in the overall teaching of the courses and stuff like that. But he taught me that is just like, everyone's really selfish. He's like, if you didn't help me for free, you wouldn't be here because you weren't valuable enough to me. And I was like, that's a true statement. For sure. That's 100%. So he gave to me, I gave to him, put us in a good position.
My last question is, you have everyone's answer is, I like what you said about it being the beginning. I don't want to, because I pretty much have like 1 to 2 more minutes, but you talked about how this is the beginning of the internet. Everyone thinks it's saturated and you're saying it's the beginning. Do you feel like if Instagram and how the algorithm is today, you would still be able to have 20K followers? You've probably seen a drop off.
Honestly, right now, the people don't understand is good content wins no matter what. Okay. And people are always going to say things like, I've had a huge up and down. I used to run Instagram software. So like my system got damaged because I tried all types of software. It didn't matter what the software was. I tried it. And the reason why is because I wanted to make sure if I was going to give it to my client, I've used it and I've maxed it out. Yeah. So when it comes down to people deciding that they're dripping into just the beginning of it in Instagram and platforms like that, good content always finds its ways through the clouds. So if you start, the best thing is to start and be okay with sucking and getting better and getting better. It took 6 months for one person to finally tell me that they like my videos and that they watch my shit. I was like, why didn't you tell me this 5 months ago? Yeah. And in my mind, it was because I had to be 6 months deep for it to matter. For sure. You know what I mean? One video, who you clap? 2 videos, 3 videos. I was 90 videos later. And somebody was like, because that's real merit. Yeah. That's real work. like somebody, like we do, just like you said about your podcast, we just bought our podcast station, everything in December, full podcast setup station that's here. My business partner runs our podcast. We had no idea what we were doing, right? Just like you were like, just throw it out here. We're going to figure this shit out. And immediately after we dropped about our 15th or 16th episode, everybody who wanted to be on our show and their demeanor changed because we are now in business. We didn't try it anymore. We are now doers. And when you're a doer, other doers find their way to your plate. When you start doing things, other doers will come and say, I see what you're
exactly what's going on here.
Doing. Like, I saw what you saw. I was like, I see what you're doing. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Now we're doers. Now we're here doing this. So if I wasn't a doer, you probably wouldn't have brought me on the podcast. No. If you weren't a doer, I wouldn't have hit you up in your DMs.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is like,
we'll end there with the message of be a doer.
Be a doer,
even in the 100%. Bible, it says, use your hands to get what you want. You know, it's haste, you lose everything. Hard work brings everything. So do is the message there. I want to thank you for having me on coming on the Part of the Culture podcast.
Man,
how can people find you? And we definitely have to have another conversation, man.
Yeah, we definitely have to pop on. I'm about to have you pop on my podcast as well because I would love to have you on the marketing with Dom. Long story short, everywhere you can find me at GOML Gorilla. GOML is for get on my level and give out more love. I've owned that brand for a long time now, about 7 or 8 years. But to me, it's about, extending your level and then making sure you give back at the same time. So I appreciate everyone who's listening here. You guys can find me. Make sure you follow this guy too, because he's an amazing guy as well. And you guys will see this on my platform as well.
Yeah.
Part of the culture.
My name's JD. You can find me at Part of the Culture. I am going to, I'll put everything I can in the show notes so that you can tag this guy. And this is the Part of the Culture podcast. I'm out. You can stay on for 1 second. I'm going to just stop the recording.